Hey guys, it's John here, and welcome to part 3 of my DVD and Blu-ray collection. Once again, covering DVDs first, since I have way more of those. But let's get started. This next one, great movie, Gross Point Blank. Yeah, entertaining flick. John Cusack, Minnie Driver, and not much for features, but just a great movie. It's a lot of fun, entertaining movie. So I got that. Next, The Craft. And I hope you can see it all right. But, good flick. As far as the features, you have a director's commentary, some deleted scenes, a featurette, talent files. So you gotta make it a featurette. I like The Craft. I know they're trying to remake it, but you don't need it. But The Craft is good. Next, very good film. We Were Soldiers, Mel Gibson. Very good war film. Mel Gibson puts on a very good performance. As far as the features, you have 10 deleted scenes with commentary. You have behind the scenes featurette, a commentary with the director. So, yeah. We Were Soldiers, not many people talk about this one, but this is a very good film. So I got that. Next, we have this Nicolas Cage double pack of Guarding Tess. That one right there, and It Could Happen to You. Garden Test is a decent little movie, a little comedy. I haven't seen this one. I know it's I think it's based on a true story. Yeah, something about a lottery ticket. Still have to watch that one, but nice little Nicolas Cage double pack, and again, hope you can see it all right. I'm trying to get away from the glare, but yeah, Garden Test and It Could Happen to You. The Nicolas Cage collection. Next, we have The Incredible Mr. Limpet. And I haven't seen this film since like 1997 because in the 3rd grade, we watched this in class. Somebody in class brought the tape and I'm like, can I borrow that movie? I actually remember borrowing this on tape back in like 3rd grade. But see, yeah, it's been that long since I've seen it. But for the Don Knotts collection, and I was looking at the back, some good features. You have an introduction by Don Knotts, a documentary. So yeah, there's a documentary on this. So yeah, The Incredible Mr. Limpet. Haven't seen that in so long. Next, we have Chain Reaction with Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman. I like this movie. It's not, Keanu Reeves' strongest. It's not his best film, but I think it's a solid thriller from the director of Andrew Davis, who directed The Fugitive and Under Siege. I like Chain Reaction. It's a good action flick, so I got that. Next, we have Battle Los Angeles. And this one I haven't seen, believe it or not, but I do own it. I've heard some good things about it. I know this director, I think he went on to direct the TMNT 2014 film, which I hate. But this one, again, I've heard some good things. I've heard some good things about this one, so I have to give it a watch. But I do own it. So Battle Los Angeles. Next, we have the Harold and Kumar trilogy of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay, and A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas. So all 3 films in a collection pack. The first movie has all the features, but I like the first one. I've only seen the first one. so I definitely need to watch the other ones. But the first one I remember being a lot of fun. So, but I got all of these. Damn dog. Next, and I think I have the other two somewhere. And I like this movie. Final Destination. I've only seen this like one time. Again, I remember liking it. I haven't seen the sequels. Actually, I take that back. I've seen the fourth one. I didn't like that one when that came out. I don't know why. I think at the time I was working at the theater when that came out, the fourth movie, and just the little bits and pieces that I saw of it, I didn't like it. But Final Destination, I like this movie. It's just been a while since I've watched it, but I do have that. And you do have some features on there. Next, we have The Brave One, Jodie Foster. Haven't seen this one, but got it for cheap. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really heard too much about this movie. I mean, I like Jodie Foster, but it was $1. Has it up there. But The Brave One, got that. Next, which I actually have this as part of a collection pack, which you'll see later. But The Karate Kid, I do have this, and again, I have all four in a collection pack. You'll see it later, and it does carry over the same features. So, like you have a commentary with director John Avildsen, and then the writer. Then also on the commentary, Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita, before he passed away. And a multi-part making of featurette. So, some good features. But yeah, The Karate Kid's a classic. What more can you say? Next, we have Judgment Night. Yeah, I'm trying to get away from that stuff right there. Judgment Night's a very good thriller, very underrated film. Good cast. I mean, you have Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Dennis Leary is a great villain, Stephen Dorff, Jeremy Piven in a supporting role. Directed by Stephen Hopkins, who directed Predator 2. Yeah, Judgment Night. This movie is very underrated. No one talks about it. If you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. Good soundtrack too. So, yeah, Judgment Night is a very good movie. Next, we have Leatherface, Chainsaw Massacre 3, which I haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't seen this one. I've seen the first two, but you do have this contains the and unrated versions of the film, a filmmaker commentary, a making of documentary, some deleted scenes. So there's some stuff up here. But yeah, I haven't seen this one. So yeah, let me know about that one. But I do have it. And see this next one, Jim Henson's Labyrinth. I've never seen this movie, but I got it on Black Friday, I think last year or the year before. I just haven't watched it. And you do have a couple of features. The Henson Legacy, remembering the Goblin King. Almost said the Hobgoblin. That would have been different, but yeah, remember the Goblin King. A commentary by the conceptual designer. A making of documentary. So you do have a documentary. But yeah. That's the 30th anniversary of Labyrinth. So I have that. Next, this was actually a gift. I haven't seen it, but someday I'll give it a watch. Hannibal Rising, which is, I guess, the prequel to Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard too much about this one. I mean, again, it was a gift, so at some time I'll give it a watch, but I do have that. Hannibal Rising. Next, we have a very good sequel, funny, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Very solid sequel. To me, it's on par with the first movie. I mean, yeah, the first movie's better, but this one is, I think is more, has a lot of fun moments. Yeah, entertaining movie. But Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, again, good sequel, good follow up. Next, we have the Evil Dead remake, which I have seen. I'll give it the gore, but you just can't beat the original. I mean, it just... I think I got this either for $1 or it was a gift. I can't remember which. Either I got it for cheap, for like real cheap, or it was a gift. But I did see this, and okay, I give it good gore, but that's kind of it. But yeah, the Evil Dead remake. Someday, if there's ever a rant review, I do have it. So this next one, Star Trek Insurrection. And again, I have all the Star Trek Next Generation films, but I haven't seen them, so I would definitely give this a watch at some point. Yeah. Not, no features or anything, but directed by Jonathan Frakes. So it's Star Trek Insurrection. So I got that. Next, very good sequel, Gremlins 2 and The New Batch. Entertaining sequel. I think, to me, I prefer this. Like, I love the first movie, but this one I thought really took it up a notch, and especially the entertainment factor, with, having all these appearances, and it's just a lot of chaos, but entertaining chaos. And you do have a commentary up here by Joe Dante. Excuse me, tired, but 20 minutes of additional scenes, making a featurette, but yeah. Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Definitely a fun movie, fun sequel. Next, we have Black Mass with Johnny Depp. And got this on Black Friday. Again, I think last year or the year before. Still haven't seen it. I've heard some decent things about it. And you have a good cast. I mean, you have Johnny Depp, Joe Edgerton, Kevin Bacon, Benedict Cumberbatch. I know the real person died, Whitey Bulger, but yeah, I do have Black Mass with Johnny Depp. Let me know about that one. Next, good flick. Excuse me, I woke up at 5 this morning, so. But anyways, we have Lost in Translation and Bill Murray. I remember liking this movie, but it's been a while since I've watched it. I remember Bill Murray being very good in the film. Scarlett Johansson, directed by Sofia Coppola. We do have some features up here. A conversation with Bill Murray and the director, behind the scenes documentary. So, I'd like to rewatch this at some point. But yeah, Lost in Translation. So I got that. Next, we have The Cabin in the Woods. I haven't seen this film. From the stuff I've heard different things, different opinions, but I mean, some features up here. An audio commentary with the writer and director, a making of, a featurette on the visual effects. I'll take it out, but that's what it looks like. But yeah, The Cabin in the Woods. Let me know about that one. Next, I haven't seen this one. I have to give it a watch. Shoot to Kill with Sidney Poitier, Tom Berenger, Kirstie Alley. I've heard some good things about this one, so I'll have to give it a watch. Maybe I'll make a pile over there of what to watch soon, because I'm curious about this one. So, yeah. Shoot to Kill. Let me know about that one. Next, we have a sequel, which I'm not a fan of. I prefer the first two. The third one's okay, but we have Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. The last time I watched it, I remember certain things like it's Bert's ancestor who's afraid of guns or doesn't like guns. I'm like, really? Yeah, Billy Drago in the film. It's just not a good sequel. Again, I prefer the first two, or even the third one has its moments. At least you have Bert. But this one, it's kind of like, really? And apparently, they're working on a Tremors 7. Not only Michael Gross is coming back, but John Heder, Napoleon Dynamite is gonna. Napoleon Dynamite's gonna be in Tremors 7. Why do we need another Tremors film? I don't know, but yeah, Tremors 4, not a good sequel. That's a franchise that really needs to stop. You don't need Tremors 5. Was that the one with Jamie Kennedy? And like Bert was locked in a cage and he got pissed on or something like that. You don't need it. Stop with the Tremors franchise, please. We don't need Tremors 7. But moving on. Okay, next. Double Jeopardy. Tommy Lee Jones, Ashley Judd. Good, solid movie. Solid thriller. Good performances. Entertaining. But yeah, Double Jeopardy. I like this movie, so I got that. And next, actually the plastic's coming off, so just take it off. And I got this for cheap. I think it was like $1. But we have Death Wish with Bruce Willis. Again, it was a lucky find. It was for $1. Still haven't seen it. Well, of course, the plastic was still on it, but I will definitely give it a watch. Yeah. So I got Death Wish, Bruce Willis. So on that. Next, we have A Bronx Tale, Robert De Niro. Also directed by Robert De Niro. Haven't seen this one, believe it or not. Yeah, Robert De Niro's directorial debut. So, have to give this a watch. But yeah, A Bronx Tale. So I have that. Next, entertaining movie, The Rocketeer, directed by Joe Johnston, who directed Jumanji, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And this one, I enjoyed it. I saw it for the first time, I think early this year or last year, and it's a lot of fun. Adventurous, just a really good adventurous fantasy type movie. That period type of adventure, period film. But yeah, The Rocketeer, I got blurry for a second. Rocketeer is a lot of fun, so I got that. Next, we have The Martian with Matt Damon. I enjoyed this one, and directed by Ridley Scott, who, to be honest, this was his last good movie. I saw Alien Covenant, which I hated. I haven't seen Prometheus. But I did see this in the theater when it came out. And again, I think it's Ridley Scott's last good flick. So Matt Damon did a good job. So yeah, The Martian, good movie. Next, Starship Troopers. And to be honest, I've only seen like bits and pieces of this movie. I don't know why. Like every time this movie would come on TV, I would catch a scene here and there, but I've never seen the entire thing. Weirdly, directed by Paul Verhoeven. You do have a filmmaker's commentary up here. But yeah, Starship Troopers. Someday I'll go back and rewatch the whole thing. It's only been like bit parts for me. Like I've only seen bits and pieces of it, so, but I have that. Next, excuse me, we have Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Good Schwarzenegger flick. I actually saw this in the theater when it came out, and I remember, if memory serves me right, it was going to come out in September of 2001, but because of what happened, they pushed it. And it came out in February of 2002. And again, I remember seeing this in the theater when it came out. And it's a good action flick. Schwarzenegger is great. Andrew Davis, who directed The Fugitive, also directed this. So yeah, it's a solid movie. Collateral Damage. So I got that. Next, we have Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. This one I don't care for, and I do have, I have the other Halloween films, which you'll probably see, or you may have seen a couple at this point. You may have seen one or two already, but I do have all of them, so it's just out of order. But yeah, The Curse of Michael Myers, not a fan of this one. I much prefer the first four. H2O, but yeah, I do have this one, so I got that. Let's see, next we have the first 5 Saw films, which I did recently see Jigsaw. I didn't really care for that. And I'll talk more about that, but let's start off. Okay, I got the first 5, so I got the first Saw, which to me is the best one. I thought they did a good job directing. James Wan did a great job directing. Some good, good performances. And yeah, the first Saw movie is the best. Saw 2, I like. It's a step down from the first movie, definitely. But I like Donnie Wahlberg. But this is where it kind of started to get convoluted. I mean, it really got convoluted in the other ones, but I like Saw 2. And Saw 3, I would say this is my stopping point with that franchise, because when it gets to Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, Saw 7, I'm like, I gave up. Saw 3, I mean, the first 3 I prefer. That's all I can say. I mean, this one, it has a lot of problems. I mean, but I could still watch it, if that makes sense. Like a time waster. So, got that. Got Saw 4. Again, this is where it started to become twist after twist after twist. Don't really care for that, but I do have it. And Saw 5. This is the one I remember. I'm like, really? Now you're just pulling stuff out of your ass. That's the Saw franchise. It really started to creep in around Saw 2, and it just from there just got worse. But I do have the first 5 Saw films. Next, we get all the Jaws. I got all the Jaws movies. Got Jaws, the original, which I also have on Blu-ray, which includes the documentary, The Shark is Still Working, so you'll see this film again. But Jaws is a classic, one of my favorite films of all time. Yeah. What more can you say about Jaws? Jaws 2, underrated sequel. I enjoy it. Jaws 3, I mean, it has its problems, but I like it for Dennis Quaid, Louis Gossett Jr., so yeah, Jaws 3, I could have fun with. However, this movie, Jaws the Revenge, Jaws 4, not a good movie, so, but I do have all those. So I got all the Jaws. Moving on to the second stack. And I think we're good on time. But moving on, we have The Prophecy with Christopher Walken. Very good movie. It's been a while since I've watched it, but you know, it has some good performances. I mean, good cast: Christopher Walken, Elias Cotees, Virginia Madsen, Eric Stoltz, Amanda Plummer. No features, but yeah, The Prophecy. I know they made like what, 3 or 4 of these. I don't have the sequels, but I do have the first movie, so got that. Next, An Officer and a Gentleman with Richard Gere. Haven't seen this movie, believe it or not. I mean, I've heard a lot of great things about it, so the only thing it got up here is a commentary by directors, so but yeah. An Officer and a Gentleman, so let me know about that. Next, very good film, entertaining. Slither, directed by James Gunn, and yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It's definitely, you know, it's a comedy horror, but I don't know, just the style of directing. James Gunn, you know, did a great job directing. You know, just a really entertaining creature flick. As far as the features, you have deleted scenes, extended scenes, an outtake, making of, commentary with director and actor Nathan Fillion, which sounds like a fun commentary. So, yeah, Slither, entertaining movie. Next, In Hell with the Van Damme, for the Van Damme collection. This is another one which I haven't seen, but I've heard some good things about. And again, I'm a fan of Van Damme, so In Hell, I got that one. Next, we have Operation Condor with Jackie Chan. Entertaining Jackie Chan flick. And Jackie Chan, you know, I like to get more of his stuff. I have a couple of, it's weird, you know, I have a couple of Jackie Chan movies, but, you know, if I look around here, like lately, I haven't seen too many out there, you know, as far as local shops. You know, maybe a Rush Hour 2, Rush Hour 1 and 2, that's about what I see around here. So maybe I have to go online and look for Jackie Chan movies, but yeah, Operation Condor is entertaining, so got that. Next, we have Outland with Sean Connery. I would say my favorite Sean Connery film. I mean, I like the plot, I like the premise of this, you know, he's a miner on one of Jupiter's moons. Directed by Peter Hyams, who also directed Time Cop and End of Days. And I thought he did a great job on this movie. Also an underrated flick, Outland, with Sean Connery. So I got that. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Next, we have The Big Hit. Haven't seen this one. You have Mark Wahlberg, Lou Diamond Phillips, Christina Applegate. So good cast. But yeah. Non-stop intense action. Let me know about this one, The Big Hit. So I got that. Let's see here. Taking a few off. Next, we have The Bedazzled, or Bedazzled. I don't know why I added the, but Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser, Elizabeth Hurley, and it sounds like the disc is loose. Yep. Make sure it's not scratched. No. Good. But this one, I like this movie. It has some fun moments, and directed by Harold Ramis, who also directed Multiplicity. You know, rest in peace, Harold Ramis. I mean, of course, Egon from Ghostbusters. I thought he did a good job with this movie. I know it's a remake, but to me, it's a good remake. You know, Brendan Fraser, I liked his character. But Bedazzled, fun little movie. Next, we have The January Man. I haven't seen this one. You have Kevin Kline, Susan Sarandon, Harvey Keitel, Danny Aiello. Yeah. Let me know about this one. The January Man. So I got that. Next, we have With Honors. I like this movie. The one thing about the ending of the film is it is kind of depressing, but I thought Brendan Fraser and Joe Pesci, you know, put on some good performances. I remember seeing this on TV for the first time, and I like the performances. I think the chemistry between Brendan Fraser and Joe Pesci I liked, and it's a sweet story. But again, you know, the ending is kind of sad, so I mean, but still a good flick. So, got With Honors. Next, we have The Professional with Jean Reno. I haven't seen this one. Directed by Luc Besson. Jean Reno, Gary Oldman, Natalie Portman. I mean, I've heard so much about it, I just haven't seen it. But, yeah. The Professional. So I got that. Next, another one which I haven't seen, and I know people are like, what? But we have Dogma. And this is the special edition, so you got tons of features. Cast and crew commentary, a commentary with the second technical commentary with director and crew, hijinks with the cast, storyboards, 100 minutes of deleted scenes, so quite a bunch. But yeah, Dogma, I have that. Next, we have What Lies Beneath, Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer. I like this movie. I know some people say, you know, you can see the ending coming, you can see it, you know, a mile away, but, you know, I still like the film. I thought Robert Zemeckis did a good job directing, and I like the performances, so, yeah, kind of, you know, some of the imagery is kind of creepy, but What Lies Beneath is a good one. I enjoy it. Next, we have The Thomas Crown Affair. Trying to get away from that crap. I've never seen this movie. You got Pierce Brosnan, Rene Russo. So I think they're trying to remake this movie. I heard. I swear I did. But directed by John McTiernan, and you do have a commentary up here by John McTiernan, collectible booklet. So yeah, The Thomas Crown Affair. A little bit about that one. Let's see. Next, we have The Waxwork double pack. Let's see if I can scoot up a little bit. But yeah, The Waxwork double pack. I actually got this at a convention last year, and I didn't rewatch this. I mean, I like the first two movies. I mean, it's been a year since I've watched it, so, but no features or anything. But I remember liking these movies, so maybe I need to go back and rewatch. Because I saw it once when I Like I picked it up, and when I came back home, I watched these. So it's been like a year, but the Waxwork films, good films. So I got that. Next, we have Stir Crazy with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Good comedy with these two. My favorite is See No Evil, Hear No Evil, if I can get it out right. But this one is probably my second favorite. You know, the chemistry between these two is a riot, and yeah, just a lot of classic moments. Grossberger, Stir Crazy, I need to go back and rewatch. This one, it's definitely a comedy classic. I mean, you had the third act, you know, kind of, you know, with the whole rodeo stuff, whatever it was, but yeah, it's not my favorite parts of the film, but these two, I love these two together. Stir Crazy is a good movie, so classic comedy. Next, Cloverfield. Haven't seen this movie. I know, directed by Matt Reeves. I do have the second one with John Goodman. I do have that, which you'll see later, but yeah, Cloverfield, you can let me know about this one. I know it's a found footage, but I do own it, so I got that. Next, we have The Family with Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer. I know Tom Lee Jones, he's in the film. Directed by Luc Besson. Let me know about this one. Haven't seen, but I got for cheap. But that's The Family. So I got that. Next, we have Napoleon Dynamite. And I actually saw this in the theater when it came out back in 2004. And it's funny because at the time, you know, I'm like, you know, I don't get it. You know, I didn't get... I think it was misunderstood when it came out. And I kind of got that, like, I got that when it came out, when I saw it in the theater, because I saw it with a date. And I'm like, I'm not sure about this movie. But over the years, I mean, I've come to love it. And to me, I consider it a modern, like a, you know, classic in a modern context as far as comedies. But Napoleon Dynamite, it's just a lot of fun, man. You can't go wrong with this movie. Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite's a lot of fun, so got that. Next, we have The Exorcist 3. I do have the first one. I want to say I have the second one, but I can't remember if I do or not. I mean, I'll double check. But this one I haven't seen. I like the first one. I haven't seen this. So yeah, I have a lot of catching up to do. But The Exorcist 3, I do have. So I got that. I know it stars George C. Scott, Brad Dourif. This next one, Sleepers. This is a good movie. Good cast. You have Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, Jason Patric, Brad Pitt. Directed by Barry Levinson. Brad Renfro in the film, Minnie Driver. But yeah, this is a good movie. You know, interesting. But Sleepers, got that. Let's see, and then still doing good on time. Trying to keep these around like an hour each, maybe an hour and some change. But moving on, we have Krippendorf's Tribe with Richard Dreyfuss. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of this movie. I saw it last year, I think, but it's just a weak comedy, and yeah, it's even I think Richard Dreyfuss has talked bad about this movie, but yeah, not a good movie. Krippendorf's Tribe. It's not a good comedy. Next, we have High Tension, and haven't seen this one. Who directed this movie? I don't know. But yeah, I've never seen this one. So yeah, got High Tension. Let me know about that. Next, we have Alex Cross, starring Tyler Perry. I've heard different things about this, like mixed opinions. So I know it's a more of a serious role for Tyler Perry. You know, no Medea crap. But Alex Cross. I know Matthew Fox is a villain, I believe, the guy from Lost. So, but I do own that. Let's see. Next, we have Inferno. Yeah, again, trying to get away from that stuff. I know this is the third film in the Da Vinci Code franchise, which I don't think I have the first two. Maybe I'll have to pick, I'll have to get those, but I think this came out like 2 or 3 years ago, but yeah. Inferno, haven't seen a few features, but I do own it. I got it for cheap I found it for cheap, so got that. Next, we have Appaloosa, which directed by Ed Harris, starring Viggo Mortensen, Ed Harris, Lance Henriksen, didn't know he was in the film, Renee Zellweger. Some features up here, commentary by Ed Harris, who directed it, additional scenes, some featurettes. Maybe someday I'll give this a watch. So yeah, Appaloosa. So I got that. This next one's a lot of fun. We have Hot Shots Part 2. I don't have the first one, but this one is a lot of fun. Entertaining sequel. One of the best parody films of this type of genre. Like Little Weapon 1, that type of movie. But Hot Shots Part 2 is classic. This next one, House. This is a good horror film. Sort of like if you made which I know they made a Goosebumps movie, but if you made that sort of adult version, House is kind of like that. It's kind of like an adult movie version of Goosebumps. It's part horror, part comedy. But I like William Catt. He's the star of the film. George Wendt, you have him in the film. Richard Mall, who was Big Ben, I believe, he was good in the film. Kay Lenz, directed by Steve Miner. So yeah, House, which I think they made like 4 of these. I don't have the sequels, but maybe someday I'll pick them up, check them out. House is a good movie. Fun movie. Let's see, moving on. Let's see here, okay. Get these. Still doing good. Let's see, next we have the Missing in Action trilogy. Missing in Action 2, The Beginning, and Missing in Action 3. Good trilogy set. My favorite is the second one, which I know takes place, I guess a prequel to the first. Man, it's been a while since I've watched these, at least 4 years, something like that. So yeah, it's been a while. And again, I'm trying to get more Chuck Norris films for the collection. It's weird because I've seen quite a few of them, but I just don't have a lot of them. Like Silent Rage, Firewalker, Hellbound, Forced Vengeance, Code of Silence. A lot of those I've seen, but it's just I don't have them. So I'm trying to seek out more Chuck Norris films. But yeah. Missing in Action films, great trilogy. No features, unfortunately. Yeah, no features. I don't know why. But next, we have The Departed. Very good film, directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's still in the plastic, but I've seen it a couple of times. Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, Mark Wahlberg, Martin Sheen, Ray Winstone, Alec Baldwin's in the film. You know, great cast, and especially great performances from DiCaprio and Nicholson. But yeah, The Departed, great movie, great Scorsese film. Next, we have Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Haven't seen this movie. You have Johnny Depp, Benicio del Toro. Yeah, directed by Terry Gilliam. Some features, you got deleted scenes, spotlight on location, production notes, based on the book by Hunter S. Thompson. But yeah, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So I own that. Let me know about that movie. Next, we have The X-Files, Fight the Future, the first movie. I hate the second movie. Don't get me started on that. But this is a great movie. I think it, as far as the timeline goes, like it's between seasons 4 and 5. But yeah, great movie. Comes with a booklet. You get an 8-page booklet inside. As far as features, you have a making of, audio commentary, extra footage. So yeah, great movie. The sequel, not so much. I thought the sequel was lame as shit. But next, we have Idle Hands. I haven't seen this film, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. As far as the features, you have director and cast commentary, including Seth Green, deleted scene with director introduction and commentary, making a featurette, storyboard comparisons. So some good features up here. The comedy that gives horror films the backhand. But yeah, Idle Hands. So I got that. Next, we have The Devil's Rejects, which I haven't seen. I know it's directed by Rob Zombie. And I know recently Sid Haig passed away because he was going to be at this convention, the last convention that I went to. He was going to be at that, but he passed away. So it may have, you know, and there was a table there, and pretty much there was like different things where people can put in like donations or whatever for his table. So he was going to be there, and then again, unfortunately, he passed away, which is sad. But you know, I haven't seen this film. I know they made a new one, but you haven't seen The Devil's Rejects. So maybe someday I'll give it a watch, you know, for Sid Haig. So, but I have that. And I was going to look at the features, but the pile fell over. But anyways, next we have Rambo 3, great sequel, underrated. Some features up here, you have a documentary, Afghanistan, a Land in Crisis, an in-depth look at Rambo's fictitious involvement in Afghanistan, production notes, audio commentary with the director, special edition of Rambo 3. Again, great sequel, underrated. I love Rambo 3, it's my second favorite, so have that. Next, we have The Critters Collection, and I've seen the first one and the second one. I don't think I've seen the third or fourth one, but I enjoyed the first two, and my favorite is actually the second one. But if I ever do, reviews one day of these films, I do have it. So, yeah. The Critters collection, Critters 1 through 4, and yes, even Critters 3 has Leonardo DiCaprio. I think it was his debut role. So, but yeah, the Critters collection, got that. Next, we have The Time Machine, remake with Guy Pearce, which I saw this in the theater when it came out, and watched it again not too long ago. It may have been, I know it was this year, rewatched it, and I like this movie. I think it's a good remake. I thought Guy Pearce did a good job. I like some of the visuals. Some features you have, creating the time machine, creating the Marlocks. Stan Winston provided the effects. Commentaries from director, producer, editor. Deleted scenes. So yeah. Time Machine, good remake. I like that movie. Next, we have Soldier with Kurt Russell. Solid movie, directed by Paul Anderson, who also directed Mortal Kombat, Event Horizon. A good cast too. You got Jason Scott leading the film, Michael Chiklis, Gary Busey. I wouldn't say my favorite Kurt Russell film, but this is one of these films that for a while I was back and forth on, like, I don't know if I like it or not, but this film grew on me. And again, I like Kurt Russell in the film. So Soldier, got that. Again, good movie. Next, we have Power Rangers the movie, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. This is a film that I'm back and forth on. Like, I give the film, I like Ivan Ooze, some of the fight choreography, the soundtrack, but as a whole, to me, it has problems. The CGI is really bad in the third act. Not a lot happens in the second act, but I can still watch it. It's just, to me, it's become sort of like a background movie. Like if I'm doing something, I could just put this on in the background. So it's sort of like a time waster for me at best. But I do have that. Next, we have The Man with Two Brains with Steve Martin. I don't know, this one I wasn't too big on. I mean, Steve Martin's not the problem. Kathleen Turner's in the film, directed by Carl Reiner. It's just, I don't know, it's just a little too goofy. I don't know how to say it. It's a little too cornballish. I mean, I don't mind cornball humor, but not my favorite Steve Martin film. I mean, it's there. I mean, but I'm just not a big fan of it. But The Man with Two Brains, it's cornball. But that's about what I can say about it. I don't hate it, but it's just that. Next, we have Willard with Crispin Glover. And I like this movie. Crispin Glover, I thought he was creepy at times. Some good features. You have 12 deleted scenes / alternate scenes with the optional commentary, filmmaker commentary. The Year of the Rat documentary, making of the film, Rat People, Friends or Foes. But yeah, Willard, I like this movie, so I got that. Next, which I have the other films, and you'll see them, but I do have Child's Play 2. Again, just trying to stay away from that freaking glare. But, very good sequel. And this is actually my favorite of the franchise. I like that it feels, there's more of a body count. It's a little bit more darker. I like the third act in the Toy Factory. Very good special effects, practical effects. But yeah, Child's Play 2. I would like to check out the reboot at some point, but do have that. My favorite. Next, we have Look Who's Talking. Good comedy from the 80s. John Travolta, Christy Alley. Yeah. Bruce Willis as the voice of Mikey. I forgot the baby's name. I don't know why, but yeah. Look Who's Talking. Good movie. Good comedy. So I got that. And lastly, got all the Jason films, all the Friday the 13th films. So I got the first 4 in this collection pack. Friday the 13th, the Uncut. Part 2, Part 3 in 3D. Let's see if I can keep this right here. And Part 4, the final chapter. And this is all the deluxe editions, I believe. Yeah, the first one has commentary by the director and the cast and crew. I remember some of these features being somewhat lame because there was like these segments or something like that on here that had nothing to do with the film. But, you know, on the second one you have Inside Crystal Lake Memories. On the third one you got, on the third one includes 3D glasses, but I don't think they're in here. On the final chapter you got a commentary by director and screenwriter, fan commentary by Adam Green and Joe Lynch. But I do have the first 4 in this 4-pack, so I got that. Part 5, The New Beginning. Really good film. I think it's probably my second favorite or third favorite. It's, you know what? I think it's I would say like my third favorite. I like the twist. You know, I like that has more of a body count. Yeah, Part 5, The New Beginning is, you know, one of my favorites. Great Jason film. Jason Lives. I would say this is my favorite. I would say this, Part 7 and Part 5 are my top 3. Great sequel. We have Part 7, The New Blood. Really good sequel. Again, my second favorite. You got a commentary up here by the director, who I know has passed away, and actors Log Parker Lincoln and Kane Hodder. The Making of, Mind Over Matter, The Truth About Telekinesis, Who Cares? But Part 7. We have Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, which I like. I mean, it has its problems, but, you know, I still like the movie. So, got that. Jason Goes to Hell. I like this one. I rewatched it again for Halloween. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I still like Jason Goes to Hell, so I got that. Jason X. This is a dumb but entertaining movie. It's a mindless popcorn, you know, flick, but I like it. I like Jason X. I can have dumb fun with it. So, I got that. And the remake, which I saw in the theater and I actually liked. I enjoyed the remake. One of the better remakes. But I got that. So again, I got all the Friday the 13th films. If I can put them back in damn order. So, yeah, all the Jason films. There you go. Do it like that. Hey, that's it for part 3. I want to thank you guys for watching, and yeah, kept around an hour, and I may go a little bit longer as we go along, but thank you for watching part 3, and stay tuned for part 4. Catch you later.